Good evening, and welcome to the Hollywood Theater Fringe Festival. Tonight's performances are the 2015 award-winning productions that captured the minds and hearts of audiences throughout our 2015 Hollywood Theater Fringe Festival. Please welcome from Cal Arts in Valencia, Earth Tribe, and the award-winning piece from their Kill Cycle play, Fading Light.
Good evening. Hello. Testing the mic. Testing. Okay. Good evening, and thank you. I am Daryl Simon Green, and I just want to say thank you for your support always and allowing us to share with you our gift, the gift of sharing what we find to be the greatest gift of all, celebrating the moments of life through puppetry. Our production of Fading Light as part of the Kill Cycle plays has not been easy, but we invite you now to come with us into a journey of light and of dark. Fading Light is the story of two twin brothers, one with a path that brought him to great heights, and the other who wandered aimlessly at times, searching for answers, struggling. Each story has two sides to each story. And while there are two twin brothers in this story, there will only be two sides to this story, not four stories. As technically there would be, but here in this story, really to avoid confusion, there would just be two sides. It's just cleaner that way. So, let's begin our story with the first brother, Tom. This is Tom. From the day they were born, there was a mysterious something that set them apart. When they were small boys, Tom, the older of the two, would climb to the top of a tree and fix his eyes on the horizon. He always knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to go to school. He was curious. He was always inventing things and meeting people. He was president of the school business club and of his class. A star volleyball player. He was loved and revered. The younger of the two twins, Kurt, was always playing in alleys. And enjoyed sleeping in the basement. Kurt was a lost soul, born of the same parents, yet so very, very different. Kurt liked to set things on fire. Anything. And he loved alcohol. He lived life not so much in the fast lane, but in the reckless lane. And he frequently changed lanes. Recklessly. Kurt loved his brother, but could not understand why they were so different. I mean, they looked exactly like each other. In their senior year of high school, something happened that chastened their drift away from each other. One night, Kurt was with a girl named Colleen. She was really, really drunk. Kurt and Colleen were drinking hard alcohol in the woods. Colleen had gone past her limit and eventually passed out. Kurt did not know what to do. About this time, Tom was coming home from cheer squad practice. Coming home through the woods when he came upon his brother and the drunk, passed out, vulnerable Colleen.
Kurt, what did you do?
What? I didn't do anything.
What happened?
Nothing. Why are you always blaming me?
I'm not blaming you. I just wanted to know what's going on.
I don't know.
Well, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
Wait a minute. What do you mean we?
You're my brother.
Well, I don't know.
Let's get out of here.
After a pause, Tom said,
Kurt, we have to help her.
No, we don't. Let's get out of here.
oh boy. Before we find out what happens to Tom and Kurt, I would like to meet our puppeteers, Kellen McVeigh and Roger Hildegard. Kellen McVeigh is Tom, and Roger Hildegard is Kurt. Oh boy, the dance of puppetry, I guess we could call it, is probably one of the most magical things that has ever been part of the human race. And we've been working together a long time, the three of us, and we have a company also. But I kind of just right now want to throw it out there. If anybody has any questions about our show so far.
Puppetry is a transformative, metaphorical experience.
Can we get maybe some house lights? Because I think there were several people raising hands. Oh, that's too many house lights. That's too many. Yes?
I was wondering what the puppets are made out of.
Oh, interesting question.
And whether you made them yourselves.
Well, I will throw that to the puppeteers.
Yes.
We met a long time ago.
We did. I was originally from Bellingham, Washington, where I got into puppetry and children's theater. I was at a puppetry competition in Minneapolis, Minnesota. When we met, we actually were competitors at the time. But we became partners.
I believe his question was what are the puppets made of?
Well, my puppet is made from soap, balsa wood, foam, fiberglass, and wire, and fabric, and tape. I've made these myself. I made this myself. I've made many others in my career. I have over 400 puppets of various shapes, sizes, and design. This one is one of the special ones.
I wanted to point out something just really interesting. When Kellen talks, you'll notice that Tom is actually speaking at the same time.
Sometimes I forget.
It is a transformative, metaphorical experience.
See, that's the thing about doing puppetry. Sometimes you actually become the puppet.
This puppet is from a 3D printer.
And we use lots of found and recycled materials. We have puppets made of mud. We raise chickens at the puppet farm. And sometimes we build puppets out of chicken feathers and, the leavings.
I think it's also important to note that all of these stories that we tell are original, and yet they have been told before. Ancient times.
Yes, this story itself is an old Indian folktale, Navajo Hopi, Navajo/Hopi story. And, we've lifted and made it more modern, but at the same time, it's very, very ancient.
Universal as well.
Thank you, Roger. Are there any other questions? Yes?
How attached do you grow to the puppets?
Oh my God. Very much so.
I would say it's as much my child as any mother that would have a child.
It's true. We feel that the spirit of a puppet is very similar to the spirit of a human, and in particular, close to the spirit of the puppeteer. It's not generally as easy to express the spirit of a puppet. He sometimes needs a helping hand, as it were. But then again, who doesn't need that, really? I do too. I do.
We're always there to help each other. In the workshops we do with children, we're there, I would say 24/7. Isn't that the term they use, 24/7?
I'm not familiar.
That's a term. If you don't know the term, it means all the time. So anyway, we're there 24/7.
3 weeks ago, we were in Sioux City, and they had, it seemed, no concept of time. And yet, we introduced them and that concept through puppets and storytelling.
What he's referring to is the children didn't understand time. And we actually taught them what time was through puppetry.
A different story other than what you're saying.
A good story, though.
Are there any other questions? All right, then maybe we get back to find out what's going to happen with Tom and Kurt. Roger, did you have something else to say?
Pardon?
Okay.
No.
Well, let's get back to our story and find out what's going to happen. Many years after the Colleen incident, Tom went on to become president of his own company, flying around the world in Lear jets and meeting with important dignitaries from around the world. He established a non-profit company along with his other companies that turned profit, and he gave food to people who couldn't afford food and couldn't walk. He married his high school sweetheart, had 2 children. He had everything that life could offer. But one day, at work, Tom threw up. He came home from work to rest. When he woke up, he had a cough that wouldn't go away. Tom slowly withered away until his body became a shell of the Tom everyone knew and loved. Tom, a man who had everything, maybe even more than everything, now became the man who had nothing. When Tom passed away, hundreds of people came from all over the world to celebrate his life. One lonely figure stood on the outskirts of the crowd listening to world leaders speak about the greatness of Tom. That figure was Kurt. And like George Harrison said, all things must pass. And after saying all the beautiful words about Tom, the world leaders walked away. Tom's wife and children walked away. And all those who professed love and admiration for Tom walked away. All except for one lone figure, Kurt. Kurt kept watch at Tom's gravesite until the end of his days. And when he himself passed into the next world, someone was there waiting for him. Okay. Thank you, Kellen. Thank you, Kellen. Thank you, Roger. I want to thank our musicians also who travel with us and always sit in the dark. Thank you so much. I don't know any of their names. Because we try to keep a thing with our puppetry. It's an interesting dichotomy where the musicians who play with us and all the technical people who support us and lighting and all of that, we try to set an insular body that we live in, that they are not invited into. And this is really just for artistic reasons. It keeps our puppetry fresh and it keeps it very, very real. Anyway, I don't know if there are any other questions about what you saw or how it affected you. Sometimes what we will do is set up workshops after one of our puppetry. Oh. Thank you. Love it. I mean, I just love it. Anyway, as I was saying, we do set up workshops for people to deal with some of the emotions that they're dealing with after seeing some of the. It's not always tragedy. Sometimes we have a comedy. I can't remember the last one we did. We do workshops, and we will be teaching one here in the Steve Allen Theater tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. If you can't come at 1 o'clock, come at 8 o'clock, and we'll be talking about all the different ways to just work through the emotions that you're feeling right now. And I myself am working through some emotions, and that's okay. I say to myself, it's okay to have emotions. So, we thank you for seeing the Kill Cycle play tonight.